Hey BookTube friends, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to pop in today and do a little sneak peek of what the Black Hearts Book Club will be reading for the remainder of 2023. And yes, I know I planned these way in advance, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to secure some really awesome BookTube co-hosts for each month. And I think I did it. I think I was able to get some really awesome people to help me with this book club. So hoping that in 2024 we will expand it as well and get some other people on board. But let's just jump in to March. And for March, we will be reading The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett. And I can't think of anything cooler than detective noir fiction or reading with Sean D. Standfast. So he's going to be the co-host for this, and he's actually read it many times. So I have a feeling that he will have a lot of great insight in the group chat. So I'm excited for that. And my plan is also to rewatch the Humphrey Bogart film adaptation of the book, because I've seen that a ton, but I'm just curious if the book will kind of give me a new perspective on that. So for April, we have The Remaking by Clay McLeod Chapman. And for this one, my co-host is the lovely Katrina Brown, and she's a fellow Virginian. This book is set in Virginia. I think that's a good sign, and I do have to give her all the credit for choosing this book, because I had a whole list of kind of dark and spooky and horrifying books that I wanted to read, and of course Katrina had already read them all. So that's the type of reader she is. So make sure you check out her content. Always love her vlogs, always love her content. But this book is set in the 1930s, and it says a mother and daughter are burned at the stake as witches. Their story inspires an urban legend told around a campfire in the 50s, a 70s horror flick, a 90s meta remake, and a true crime podcast. But all the storytelling comes with a cost. So definitely intrigued by that. For May, we have The Half Sister by Sandy Jones, and my co-host for that month will be Ariel at Reading and Whatnot. And I haven't had a ton of interaction with Ariel, but she's one of those booktubers that I do follow, and I do enjoy her content. So I'm always game to branch out and read with new people. So I'm really excited for that. And this author I have read before. I did read The Other Woman and enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that this one is good as well. For June, tentatively, we have Daphne du Maurier's My Cousin Rachel. I absolutely loved Rebecca, and I've heard that this book has all of the same sort of haunting vibes as Rebecca. My co-host is Rosie Cockshut, and we kind of left it open. We said we would put this as the tentative book, but if we came across something else that we wanted to read instead, we may change it. And Rosie is one of those booktubers who reads a lot of nonfiction as well. So, some booktubers don't really read a lot of nonfiction. So since she does, I'm kind of open. If she comes across something nonfiction, I'm totally game to change it up. So this month is really not set in stone. For July, we will be reading the ultimate summer beach read, and that is Close to Shore, The Terrifying Shark Attacks of 1916 by Michael Capuzzo. And I don't know how I was able to do it, but I was able to secure Jack the Rambling Raconteur to co-host for that month. So I'm really excited for that. And of course, this story is the true tale of a rogue shark that basically terrorizes the shores of New Jersey in 1916 and provides kind of the inspiration for Jaws. And last summer I went through a little Jaws phase, and so that's when I picked up this book. So yeah, really excited, looking forward to that. I may actually read it at the beach, because I will be going to the beach in July. So yeah. For August, I have The Fig Eater by Jody Shields scheduled, and my co-host is Chrissy over at The Return Cart, another great booktuber. I came across her, I think, when I was involved in a couple of the romance readathons. I mean, romance is not really my thing per se, but I do like to dabble in it, and I've come to learn that there are romances that I do like, and a couple of those were actually her recommendations. So I was excited that she agreed to co-host this month with me, and this is not a romance because, of course, Black Hearts Book Club, it's not really in the game plan, but it's about a murder in Vienna in 1910, and apparently the victim in this is loosely inspired by one of Freud's famous patients. So I am intrigued by that. For September, we will be reading Lady Killers, Deadly Women Throughout History by Tori Telfer, and my co-host for this is Gem of Books, who I love reading with. She is so easy to talk to, and I absolutely adore her accent. But this book is interesting because I think in the late 90s, an FBI profiler actually made the statement publicly that there were no female serial killers. And this book disproves that. I mean, definitely there are female serial killers, and this book offers 14 examples. But I've actually heard this book is pretty witty and kind of funny, even despite the content. So excited for that. So for October, we will be reading Strangers on a Train by Patricia Highsmith. My co-host is the amazing Anne with a Book, and of course Anne has co-hosted before, and she's always lovely to talk to. This one is a murder mystery, but it's one that was referenced in 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson as one of the perfect murders. So I kind of have sought out those books that were referenced in that particular murder mystery, and I don't know if I've actually seen the film adaptation of this. There is an Alfred Hitchcock film adaptation, and the plot does sound familiar to me, but I don't know if I've actually seen the film, so I might actually try to seek out the film as well. So for November, we have a couple of options. We will be reading a JFK assassination book, and my co-host will be Tom, LA Books. When it comes to JFK, Tom is my tag team partner. He's kind of stuck with me at this point, so sorry about that, Tom. But we've got a couple of options. One I kind of threw out there was Coup in Dallas, the decisive investigation into who killed JFK. This is kind of a chunky one, so I don't know about that one. The next one is Blood, Money, and Power, How LBJ Killed JFK by Barr McClellan. And McClellan is actually LBJ's attorney. And this is a book that has been referenced in other books that Tom and I have read, so I feel like this might be the winner, Tom. I think this might be one you're interested in as well. So we will talk about that, Tom and I, and we will let you guys know what we decide for that. And for December, not a holiday read by any stretch of the imagination, but we will be reading The Indifferent Stars Above, the harrowing saga of the Donner Party by Daniel James Brown. And my co-host for that month is Book Time with Ryan, who, if you haven't checked out his channel, he has some of the most hilarious thumbnails, and he has a whole series of videos related to Moby Dick and whales and whaling, and he's just super entertaining. So make sure you check out his channel if you haven't done so already. But this book, it's going to be a painful journey, I think, needless to say. But I have never read a nonfiction book about the Donner Party, so I am excited for this one, particularly because a lot of the reviews say that the author is able to handle it with a novelist touch, and I feel like that this story kind of needs that. It needs the humanity put back in it. This will be, I'm sure, an unforgettable story of, tragedy and survival, and yeah, I'm excited for it. So really looking forward to all of these books and talking with my co-host and anyone who wants to join the book club. So that's all I have, guys. That's it. That is 2023 Black Hearts Book Club lineup. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Please let me know in the comments what you're reading. Let me know if you want to join the book club. And yeah, I'll see you next time.